So today I'm looking at a passage that has two distinct sections to it. So I'm reading from John 14, 1 through to 14. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I'm going to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I'll come back and take you to be with me, that you may also be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going. Thomas said to him, Lord, we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way? Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Philip said, Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. Jesus answered, don't you know me, Philip? Even after I've been among you for such a long time, anyone who's seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father? Don't you believe that I am in the Father and that the Father is in me? The words I say to you, I do not speak on my own authority. Rather, it is the Father living in me who is doing the work. Believe me, when I say that I'm in the Father and the Father is in me, or at least believe on the evidence of the works themselves. Very truly, I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. And I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. You may ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it. Tremendously important passage, really. It's a passage that could be summed up to be about comfort and trust, about trusting in God and receiving the comfort of belonging to God. There's this verse that is such an important one in the Christian story. For people engaged in mission, it's always been important. It speaks about the way to God. And I want to read it to you again in verse 6. It's one of the great I am verses of John's Gospel. I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Now, I've heard this used in quite unhelpful ways. I think it's been good that I've had a guest on the show today that's involved in mission, in a word and deed ministry, sharing the good news of Jesus, wanting to introduce people to his lordship and his glorious salvation, yet at the same time believes it's important to dig wells and believes it's important to be engaged in community. And I just feel it's such an inclusive verse. It's not to be nobody comes. It's meant to be nobody comes except, and it's really invitational. It's inclusive. It draws us closer to understanding what I describe as the generous love of God, a generous love of God that counts people in, not counts people out. I remember reading years ago about the circle that brings people in rather than keeps people out. It's a passage that says a good deal about the nature of God, or what we call the fatherhood of God. The fatherhood of God is not meant to be excluding, just like we've put an emphasis today upon the importance of mothers and upon those who contribute to their community and society. It's about the compassionate care of a loving God. It makes a vital link between the Son and the Father. You remember when I read that passage how important it was to get to the point of acknowledging that truth. Don't you believe that I'm in the Father and the Father is in me? And in the Father and the Father's in me. The words I say to you, I don't speak on my own authority. Rather, it's the Father living in me who's doing that work. This relationship that is so important. And so when we're involved in mission and compassionate care, wherever in the world that might be, whether it's in one of those countries that Colin shared with us, or whether it's in our own Australia, whatever we're doing, we're sharing the good news of a loving God, but made clear, made plain, demonstrated in the life and personality of Jesus Christ. He's at the center of our mission. And we know that he is way, truth, and life. We know that he is the one that will call people into relationship. And that to me is so important. There's nothing worse, is there, in life than getting lost. There's nothing worse than being in the road and thinking that you've really got to find some new way, a new way that is real and powerfully true. That way is an important way. And I believe it's important that we find that in the Father. And so we know, I've been in the road many times and I've got lost. My wife would say when I get lost, I don't acknowledge it for so long. That's a man's quality, It's often that oh yes, I'm all right, I know where I'm going. And then she will notice that we're passing a place for the second time. She says, are you sure you know where you're going? For me, the heart of the whole message is one that is bound up in a very real and powerful way in the direction is ours through Jesus. He shows us the way. He points the way. He demonstrates the way. And this is the most important thing. He is the way. And as we put our trust in him through love and grace, we know what it is to find the love which makes salvation real for all people.